Hi guys, this is Rosa Kelly. So today we are going to be working together on making these adorable little album slash journal. I just love how these turned out and I hope that you guys like it as well. To make this book, I am going to be using 2 pieces of chipboard. These were cut at 8 by 5 1/4, and then I have a little piece of 8 by 2 inches. And I'm going to be using the Stamperia Winter Tales, and I'm going to use one of the 8 by 8 collections here. And I just really love the scaled down version of the collection. So I'm going to select 2 sheets, so I'm going to basically use that one for the front cover, and then I'll use this one here for the back cover. And then I am just going to glue the chipboard here behind this image. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down here first. So I'm just going to glue this straight onto the chipboard. Okay, so then I'm just going to fold this over here and find the bending line. So then I'm going to glue the spine section on these sides, just right there, and I'm going to leave just a little bit of spacing in between these 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this down on both sides, and then I am also going to fold right here. So then I'm going to add some glue on this side so I can add the other piece of chipboard. Okay, so we're just gonna add glue right there, and I am just going to add this piece, also leaving a little bit of space in between these 2 pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this image here. So I only need about 5 1/4, so I'm just going to try to center this. I'm going to take some on this side and some on this side. Okay, so now I have the back piece, and I am now just going to turn this over, and I am going to glue this piece right here. So now I'm going to use a new sheet here, and I'm going to cut these at 4 1/2 inches. So this is going to be 4 1/2 by 8 inches. So then I'm going to score this piece at 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and at 3 inches. So then I'm going to fold along the score lines. Okay, so first we're gonna fold in half, and then we're gonna bring this one over, and then I'm going to do this one over here. So the center little piece is going to be our 1 hinge, and then I'm going to open this up and add some double-sided tape here on the center. Okay, and I'm just going to press down, and then we're going to peel off the tape and close this up. And then we're going to glue this piece here on our spine. So we're going to have our 1 hinge on the center. So I am just going to add my glue. Okay, so here we go. and I'm just going to line this up with the top and bottom, and there you go. Okay, so then we have this piece added, and then we are going to fold down the side. So first I'm going to score on the bending line, which is right here and right there. Okay, so we're just gonna give it a little score so it's easy to bend, and same thing on this side. Okay, so now we're just gonna fold this over, and same thing for this side. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold this over as well, and then I am going to cut 2 pieces of 8 by 5, and I'm going to use this one for the front, and then for the back I think I'm just gonna use that one there. Okay, and then we cut these 2 pieces at 5 inches. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. So pretty. Okay, so we're gonna cut this at 5, and I'm also going to cut this at 5. Okay, so I'm going to cut this side and then count 5 inches, and there you go. Okay, so now we can go ahead and glue these 2 pieces. So then I'm just going to go ahead and ink around the edges. So then I'm going to use 3 little pieces of chipboard, and these were cut at 1 by 1 3/4, and I'm just gonna wrap each one of these separately. So I am going to do one here like this. I'm just gonna wrap it on this side. So I'm going to glue this piece down just like that, and then I am just going to wrap the sides. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold the 2 long sides in, and we're gonna press down, and then we are going to fold. Let me bring my piece here, press this down, and then we're going to fold the little sides. Okay, 1 and 2, and then I'm also going to glue this down. Okay, just like that, and like that. And I'm going to do the other 2 pieces as well. to mark 2 sections here because I'm going to add some brads. So I'm just going to, oops, make sure these 2 are even. Okay, and then I am just going to poke the holes right here, and the other one right here. Oops, here we go. Okay, so I'm trying to make them straight, so there you go. So then I have 2 little holes, and I am going to add my brads, and this is just going to be for look, so I'm just gonna close them to the back right there like this. Okay, and then we are going to ink all around these pieces as well, and then I'm going to do the same for the other 2 pieces. So then I'm just going to glue these pieces onto my spine. So I'm going to start with the top. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have a lot of glue here so they don't fall out. And I'm just going to add one up here, right there. Okay, and then we're going to do the one for the bottom. And we're going to put this one right here. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to press down. And then I'm going to add this one on the center. Okay, so now we're going to work on the inside pages, and for that I'm going to be using some tea dye paper, and you don't have to use tea dye. You can use regular printer paper or cardstock, whichever you prefer. If you prefer to add pictures, I suggest you do cardstock instead of paper. I just want to use mine kind of as a half album, half journal type of thing. And then I am going to be using some craft color cardstock, and this is just 65-pound cardstock. So let's go ahead and start with that. So to make the main signature page, I am going to use 2 pieces. So one is cut at 9x5 and one is 8x5. So I'm going to score the 9x5 piece at 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, just to create a normal signature page. Then we are going to fold along the score lines right here and right there. And then I am going to add some double-sided tape. Okay, so now we're going to line these 2 pieces together here like that, and you're just going to peel off one of the tapes. That way you can line this up, and once you have it where you want it, you can press down on that sticky side and then just remove your tape, and then you can just take off the tape from the other side like that. Okay, so now we have the main signature where we're going to be adding the pages to, but before I add my page, I'm going to do a little bit of construction on this signature. So I am going to cut these 2 at 8 by 10. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to score this piece here at 5 inches along the 10-inch side. So then I'm going to score the second piece also at 5 inches, but then I'm going to score at 2.5 and at 7.5. Oops. Okay, and then along the 8 inches, we are going to score at 1 inch and at 7 inches. Then we are going to fold this piece. So I'm gonna fold this along the score lines here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this one in, and then I'm also going to fold this one right here like that. And then I'm going to fold all of these in half like that, and we are going to cut along these 1 inch score lines that we have, just up until you hit the perpendicular score line in there. So I'm going to do the same for this other side like that, and there you go. So now we have this piece, and then the first piece, which I just folded along the score line right there. And then what we're gonna do is just add these two pieces together, and we are just going to glue on the 1 inches and on the 2 sides. So I'm just going to fold these to half so it's easier to put in, and we're only going to do the glue, like I said, along the 1 inch sections and the side panels. Okay, and then same thing for this one. So just like that. I'm only going one side at a time, and I'm going to add this into that other page that we cut, and I'm just gonna press this down, and then I'm going to open this up from the other side and do the same thing. We're just gonna do the glue on the 1 inch here, and then also on the side panel. Okay, and then I'm just gonna close these up. So now we have this page. Okay, so now I'm going to do a second page very similar to that. So I am going to again cut two pieces of 8 by 10. So first we're gonna do 8 and by 10. So then I'm going to score one of these pieces at 5 inches. Okay, and we're gonna fold this in half, and then we are going to score the second piece at 5 and also at 2.5 and 7.5, and then along the 8 inch side we are going to score at 1, 3.5, 4.5 and 7.5. Okay, so we're just adding a different grid for this pop-up, but it will be basically the same steps. So now I'm going to fold this in half like that, and then I'm going to bring this one over, just fold along that line, and then I'm going to bring this one over, just fold along the line, and then we are going to cut along each one of these perpendicular score lines just up until the score line on the center. So I'm going to cut it like this, then this one, and here, and the last one like that. Okay, so then we have this piece that will have like a double pop-up. Now we're going to do the same with it with the other piece. I'm just gonna fold this in half like that to the other side, press this down, and then we are going to add this piece inside of the front. So now we're going to add the glue on the 2 1/2 inch sections along the top. Oops. So here we go, and the center 1 inch, the 1/2 inch along the bottom, and the side panel again. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to add this inside, and you want to put it really close to the bending line. Okay, so make sure it's center, and then we're going to press down. And I am now going to do the other side, so I am just going to do the same areas here and here, and then the sides panel here. And then we're just going to close this, and then when we open this up, we are going to just take these 2 pieces out, and then we're gonna fold this and press down again. Okay, so then we have these 2 pieces, and I'm going to add 1 to each side of my book, but then I also wanted to use this as a journal. So I'm going to do, the next 2 are going to be for my pages. Now if you don't want to do the tea dye or coffee dye, you can just use the same cardstock pages for all of your pages on the booklet. But I am going to use 2, and these 2 are also going to be 8 by 10. Okay, so you can do, if you're doing only cardstock, you can probably do about 4 for each booklet. So you will need 8 of these pieces, and I'm just going to do 2. So I'm going to fold this in half, and these are going to be kind of the base or cover for my signature pieces. And then I'm going to use my tea dye paper. Now you want your tea dye paper to also measure 8 by 10, or again, if you're doing multiples of these, you will just put 1 within the other, and for each booklet you will do 4. Okay, so here I have my pages that I cut out, and I'm using 5 pages for each one of these signatures, so 10 all together. But again, if you're using only cardstock, you only want about 4, so it's not too bulky. So I'm going to add these inside the page. So then I also have a little needle and twine here to do the binding for these pieces. And what I'm going to do is just poke 2 holes right here, and I'm just going to do 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, to be able to stitch this in. And actually I'm going to do 3, because when I only do 2, it's just too hard for me to tie them together. So I'm gonna do 3, and it's also stronger when you do 3. So I am going to now pass my needle through the center right here, and then since you already have the holes pre-made, it's just a lot easier. So I'm just gonna pull this out, and I'm going to now do the top right there. So this is the same technique as when we're doing a journal. So basically we're making 2 little journals for this book. So I am just going to take this one all the way, and then I'm going to go to the other hole here, either top or bottom. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull through, and we pull this all the way. Okay, and then you want to end up at the center one more time. Okay, so oops, I don't know what. Okay, here we go. This is very rustic twine, so it's not all thin, like it has this area that's really chunky, which is totally okay. All right, so I'm just gonna pull these 2 Okay, there we go. And then you just want to cut these and make a little knot, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to do a double knot right there, and then I'm going to cut the extra section. So there we go, we have one of these booklets, and then I'm going to do the same for this other one here. So now to add them all together, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 8 inches by 3 inches. And then we're going to score all these pieces at 1.5 inches along the 3-inch side. So then we're just going to fold along the score line here, and these are going to be the connector pieces for our pages. So now we're ready to join the pages together. So you can pick and choose the order of yours. So I'm gonna pick this one to be my first. Then I want one of the little journaling little booklets, and then you are going to connect on the center. Is going to be your signature base page, because that is what is going to be attached to your book. And then I think I will just do another journal, and this one, actually I'm going to do this one and then the other journal. So that's how I'm gonna have my pages. So now we're going to put the first 2 together, and what you want to do is use the connector pieces to connect them together. But you don't want to glue the whole 1 inch down, you only want to glue half of it. So I'll show you how we're gonna do our glue. So we're just gonna basically do a half line, and then you want to glue the outside edge. Okay, just like that, maybe more glue. And then we're going to just line this up as normal. Okay, but what you want is a little bit of free flow from your pages. Okay, then here's the other side of the connector piece. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a half line and then just glue the sides on the outside edge. Okay, and then we are going to add the next piece. So note that I haven't added any design paper yet, because you know, right now it doesn't matter what is up, what is down, and then we will do that at the end. So there you go. So now we're gonna join the next one. Same thing. We're gonna do glue only on half of these connector pieces, and then I'm going to line this up right there. Okay, just line it up to the edge, press down, and then the next one will be your signature, but we are going to do the same thing. Okay, your base page. There we go. And I'm just going to line this up just like that. And then I'm going to do the next 2 pieces. So there you go. So now you have basically your pages put all together. So this is one big signature page, and we're gonna add this onto our book. So you're gonna find your base page, which is the ones that we created, the 2 pages together. That is going to be your center, and that's what is going to be added here on your hinge. Now I'm going to add some double-sided tape along the hinge here. So we're gonna do one on the front and one on the back, and then I'm also going to trim out the corners. Okay, so you want to cut that out, and same thing for this side. Okay, and then we are going to peel off the tape and add that center signature in here. Make sure that it's even up and down, and then you're gonna press down on that and remove the tape. Okay, so just like that. And then I'm going to move all of these over and just peel off the tape from the back. Okay, so just like that. I'm just gonna press down, and there you go. So then you have all of your pages in here. Now these pages that don't have, you know, basically the center of the connector pieces, we can also add just like a little pocket, something in there. So I am going to use some of my leftovers here to create some side pockets. Do 2 pieces of 4.5 by maybe 4.4, just 4.5 by 4. Okay, so there you go. And we are going to score 1/2 inch. We're going to score 1/2 inch on 2 sides, 1 and 2. And same thing for this one, 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. I'm just going to cut out the corners here and there, and then you can also cut, you know, you can trim these corners here and make it look like one of those file folder pockets. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna hold these 2 together like that, and just do, I'm just gonna do an angle cut here. Okay, so just like this. And then we can glue our pockets in there. So I'm just gonna fold along the score lines. Okay, so then I'm just gonna line this up right there. And that's cute. Then we're gonna do the same for this one. Then I am also going to do 4 pieces of 8 by 5. And we're going to score along the 5-inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same here. And then I'm going to add these pieces to my book. So I'm gonna fold along the score line, and then I'm going to put one like on this page. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna do one here. And press down. And then I can do one on this other side as well. I just really like symmetry, as you can probably tell by now. So if we have one flap, then we can have another one on this one. Okay, so then we have these two. Then this one I'm just gonna leave empty. We have that. And then for this one, we can also do the other two. And then I'm just going to finish up adding my design papers. And there you go, we are all done with our little mini album slash journal book. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. I hope that you give it a try, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more fun tutorials like this. And I want to thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.